Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. What is our total subject for today? Our total subject for today is, selling warranties, extended warranties, service agreements. It's a numbers game. Okay. Why in the world would selling warranties, guarantees, extended warranties, maintenance agreements, service agreements, a numbers game? Well, let me give you a reason why. I've been in sales for a long time, and I've helped a lot of people get warranties and guarantees and service agreements, and I've also bought a bunch of them myself. I didn't say I bought it on everything, but I try to buy it pretty much on everything that I know that's either man-made or woman-made, because things do break down. And one of the keys that I found out is, again, it's a numbers game. If you have a business, you need to go ahead and train your people to have a selling conversation when it comes to your guarantees, your extended warranties, your maintenance agreements, and your add-ons, which is service agreements. Even if you're selling furniture, you have add-ons that you use for fabric protection. You've got motion detection. You got replacement guarantees, service agreements. There's a lot of different things that fall under that categories of warranties. And believe it or not, manufacturers, they give us a limited warranty, and it's nice. At least they give you some type of warranty. But boy, generally nothing hardly ever breaks in that guarantee time. Generally, you might get 90 days up to a year, and sometimes you get a full year. And then after that, we think, it's been a year. Okay, we got lucky and nothing happened. And then as soon as that 1 year or that 90-day period is over, something happens. Now, it's a numbers game, because not everything will always break, but you got to remember there's landfills full of crap that's broke. And unfortunately, sometimes it costs more to get it fixed than it is to just go ahead and get a brand new one. And you may be telling yourself, well, that's probably why I don't need to get no guarantees. Well, when you buy a car, or if you buy something of significant value like a home, they have these things called warranties and guarantees and replacement guarantees and service agreements. And if you don't have those particular products, it can be very costly. I was just in a couple of box stores the other day, and I looked at their programs, their different plans that they have on washers, dryers, refrigerators, stove, and, just things that we use on a daily basis. And one of the things I noticed is that unless you actually ask the people about the guarantees, they may slide it in there. But, I went shopping and acted like I was doing, I was looking, and I really was looking. But nobody ever really mentioned the guarantee, the service agreements, or the warranties. They just were more interested in that they got lucky and got the first sale. And a lot of these box companies, you may go in and buy like a fan or something, or a small air conditioner, or whatever the product is. And I've noticed that a lot of times they'll come at the end of it and say, well, there's a guarantee. Did you want to get it? And that's about it. No explanation on why it's a benefit, or nobody even up front even mentions it to you, the consumer. Now, like I said, I've been in cell phone stores. I've been in a lot, and even in cell phone companies, cell phone stores and stuff like that, they'll sell you the product, and they may grace you with a little bit of information about the guarantee, but a lot of times they're not real hardcore to try to sell it. And generally, I can tell the reason why is because they don't believe in it. They don't know much about it. They don't know how it works, and they're afraid to even ask for it. So that's the truth, guys. So when you're selling, these guarantees, service agreements, warranties, you need to train your people well and give them the reasoning why it's so valuable for not only the customer, but it's also value for them, and it's also value for the company. Some companies, they make extra money off of the service agreements, which is a good thing because it's another product, but it also gives the customer what they call a peace of mind. And if you don't offer these service agreements, maintenance agreements, guarantees, warranties, replacement guarantees and such, when something breaks, they're not going to be mad generally. They're going to be furious. They're going to be frustrated because, man, they thought they bought something that was going to last a long time, and then the dang thing breaks. So first thing is, if you're a salesperson, they're going to get mad at you. The second person they're going to get mad at is the company that sold the merchandise. And third, after that, they're going to be mad at the manufacturer. And a lot of times, if you don't have any guarantee, it can be very, very costly. And you need to go ahead and have conferences with your salespeople, or if you're in a box store, your representatives and people who are going to be at the front end, at the end of the day when the people walk out with their merchandise, and have a conversation with them and tell them why it's so valuable and what it do. You also got to remember it's a numbers game, so you need to monitor the products that are being sold, and you also need to look at the people. And if you got somebody who's doing a really, really good job, now I'm not saying a manipulator, but somebody who's doing a really, really good job when it comes to selling guarantees, you need to go ahead and put them on what they call a gold star. What I would do is I work for this one company. We would get a small stipend, a benefit from selling the guarantee, but at the end of the month, what they did all through the month is they tally it up. And that person who did the most guarantees and service agreements would be given an award. They would be given extra money, maybe a card to go out and get something to eat. Not a lot, but something's better than nothing at all, because you got to give your people incentives for wanting to be able to sell these things. And here's the thing, guys. It's easier to sell guarantees and warranties and service agreements and replacement agreements if you buy the merchandise from those stores, but you buy it on your own merchandise. And there's a big deal for that. And if you have to give some type of a discount to your own employees to buy it, at least they have some type of skin in the game. I've been in sales since the 80s in one form of capacity. And almost every company that I've ever worked for, if they have a service or if they have a product, they know that there's got to be a guarantee on it. Because if there's not a guarantee on it, it's like it's a worthless. And people, like I said, they're afraid to buy guarantees because they think that, hey, I don't want to be taken advantage of. I've never used a guarantee before. And then here's one they'll say, and you offer it to them without, giving some preparation. You'll say, well, did you want to go ahead and get that warranty? What are you saying? You sell junk? Or are you telling me you sell crap? And I've always had to say the same thing. No, ma'am, no, sir. My company, they've made sure that if something goes wrong with your purchase, that you're not going to be the one holding the bag. What we're going to do for you is we're going to offer you this, this, and this. We're going to cover it for this amount of time. And if something happens and we can't repair it, we will replace it with the new technology. That means if it's 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, that doesn't mean you're going to be getting outdated stuff. You're going to be getting the most up-to-date as far as technology is concerned. And believe me, Mr. and Mrs. Sir, things change very rapidly. And also, sir, ma'am, we want to give you what they call a peace of mind. And you got to sell it like that, guys. And here's the thing. I don't sell my guarantees at the end. I talk about, if, say, for instance, somebody comes in to your store and you're selling furniture, you want to tell them right when they first walk in, welcome to our store. I'm so glad to see you today. I noticed you guys were interested in buying some furniture. Well, let me tell you this. We have financing to help you, and we have guarantees to make sure that your merchandise will last years and years after you buy it today. And then what you do is say, well, what department were you looking at? And you tell them, and you let them go. And then you kind of hover around, wiping stuff down. And once they nest on stuff, you got to talk to them. Oh, this is a beautiful sofa. And what I do is I have a little book, a portfolio, and it's got the insides of different sofas. It's got the different pictures of what it's like on the inside of products. And then I talk about, well, who's going to be using your stuff? Is this just going to be sitting in a room where nobody's going to be using it? And they'll go, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then look at them and say, well, what happened to the one you had before? Now remember, guys, we're creating pictures, we're creating ideas in the back of the customer's mind that they go, you know what, maybe I need to listen to this guy. Because see, here's the thing. Nobody wants to buy guarantees. Nobody wants to buy a service agreement. But what they do want to buy is a peace of mind. They don't want to have to go, dang, man, I got a puncture in my sofa. My recliner's not working properly. The electric portion of my recliner, it stopped working. Now I got to spend money out of my back pocket. Or maybe you've got a cover that you get for the cover of a mattress. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm bringing in a lot of different types of products. work in a blended store, if you're selling like, big screen TVs and microwave stoves, these box stores, they have different types of agreements. But if your customers, or should I say your salespeople, and everybody's selling, if they work for you as a regular person, who's a stock person, everybody's selling something, they've got to be on the same page. They got to create a value. You've got to say, look, sir, ma'am, I know you didn't want to have to invest in anything like this, but we just want to make sure that you're happy not only today, but you're happy in the future. Does that make sense? And you see what I did was I got real quiet, and then you look at me and say, Mr. and Mrs., this is what it's going to cost. You can get a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, and these are different price ranges. This one is going to cost you $100 for a year. This is going to cost you for $200. It's going to last you for 5 years. Between these two, these three, which one would work best for you today? And you shut up and you listen. They may either say none, or they may go, well, we can go ahead and get the two. And this is one of the things they'll do. They'll say, well, can I go ahead and get the additional service down the road? And you got to be honest with them, because sometimes you can, but then you need to look at them and say, listen, Mr. and Mrs., you spent like $1,000 on this. It's going to cost maybe a couple $100, but what, again, we can do is make sure that it's covered for the additional 5 or 10 years, or whatever your guarantee is for a year, or whatever it is, and say, listen, when something goes wrong, we're going to be there, and if we can't repair it, we'll replace it. Especially if you get a home warranty that's got a brand new, you got an air conditioning system that could cost $8,000, or if you got a car and something were to go wrong with it. So think about it, guys. You may say to yourself, well, I don't believe in buying extended warranties, maintenance agreements, or service agreements. Well, guess what? That's okay. You don't have to, but you daggone better make sure that the people that you're selling merchandise have the option and the opportunity to miss a deal. And if something were to go wrong, guess what? They're going to be talking to you, and you are going to make the company look real bad because you went and talked to people about buying that service agreement. So just saying, guys, not trying to be a bully or anything like that, because like I said, I've got some people that watch these videos who don't agree with me. They don't believe in warranties or service agreements or maintenance agreements. But here's the thing, guys, thank goodness we have them. And generally, I'm going to tell you this right now, people who do not get guarantees, service agreement, warranties, or any replacement guarantees are the first ones to balk the loudest. They get so angry and so mad because, see, in the back of their mind, they should have said, damn, I wish I would have got that, but I don't believe in it. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up for this video and share my videos. It helps with the algorithm. I've been in sales a long time, so I've helped a lot of people get a lot of stuff. So I sell houses now, and I'm going to tell you what, if you buy a house and you don't get some type of service agreement on it, I'm going to tell you what, that roof could leak, or that doggone that refrigerator, that stove could go break down, or your air conditioner could go out. It's just a lot of different things that are covered in this world, and thank God we have an opportunity to help our customers see the light. If we are kind, we have to believe in what we're selling, guys. It makes it a whole lot easier to sell something if you believe in it. And believe it or not, guys, you're going to get paid for it too. They're going to give you a little extra dollars. And if you work for a company and they're smart, remember, it's a numbers game. It truly is a numbers game. They should be tracking you to see how many sales and how many people you've talked to. So if you've got 100 sales and you did 30 or 40 opportunities, or should I say, if you had 100 sales and you had 20 or 30 opportunities and you got half of those, I'm gonna tell you what, you've done pretty doggone good. But wonder if you keep trying. Remember, it's a numbers game. You practice it, you get better and better at it, and the more people you talk to, the more closes, and they will cut you extra money as far as the check is concerned. It's just common sense. I'm just saying. Plus, you got a happy customer. And remember, guys, if people say, well, I don't want it, don't be mean or rude. Say, okay, I understand. I just want to let you know that, hey, it's here for you, and it only costs this much. Are you sure you didn't want to go with it, or do you want to go ahead and reconsider? and give them the chance. And if they don't, that's okay. Remember, it's a numbers game. Go on to the next customer. You want to go ahead and pepper your in your presentations, your sales presentations. If you're out there in the field selling stuff, you got to let people know in advance. You don't want to drop a guarantee or a warranty on them at the very last moment. You want to let them know that, hey, this comes with a manufacturer's limited warranty, and what we can do is we can make sure it's covered up to 5 to 10 years, so there's no other extra money coming out of your pocket just in case. And you drop it in there, and as you flow through, you talk about the features and the benefit of the product, and then you remind the customer at the very end, by the way, here's the financing. You've already let them know about that, and by the way, our guarantee will cover you 3, 5, or 6, or 10 years. Between these three, which one would you like to have? And you give it to them, let them think about it, and by the way, we can roll it into your financing, so it's like there's no out-of-pocket expenditure, there's no money today, and it just guarantees that you're going to be happy for a long time. Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? And my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy, your real estate sales guy, your insurance sales guy, and your sales guy. And remember, I'm your warranty guy. Okay, so go out there and sell something. And listen, guys, selling warranties and service agreements, maintenance agreements, it's a numbers game. So get involved, get your numbers there, and enjoy the day. All right, we just talked about guarantees and service agreements. It is a numbers game. All right.